Today, we will continue to learn an inspiration to give rise to Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the king of all virtues. Why should we cultivate it? Let's begin with a brief explanation. First, when studying the Dharma, we should let go of religious formalities. Why do we study the Buddha's teachings? What is our purpose? Some laypeople approach Buddhism merely to seek help from the Buddha. But what is the point of that? We should let go of religious forms and barriers. The reason we study the Dharma is simple: to be free from suffering and to attain happiness. Why should we do good deeds? First of all, we must refrain from harming others. What's more, we should strive to help those who suffer and bring happiness to sentient beings, because we too pursue happiness. From childhood, our parents cared for our food, clothing, shelter, and transportation. As we grew up, our teachers guided and supported us. The nation, government, police, and military protect us. Technology meets many of our needs. We are constantly receiving from others, so we should also give. If you only take without giving, eventually no one will help you. The principle is simple. Do not impose on others what you do not desire. From the perspective of karma, we act with kindness because we hope others will also treat us kindly. If you wish others to be good to you, you must first be good to them. If you receive kindness from others, you should also be willing to give when they are in need. If we actively help others, they will also support us. That is what we call virtue, clear and simple. As humans, we have sensory desires and needs. Helping each other can alleviate some suffering. However, this is not the ultimate solution, as satisfying desires increases attachment. When a desire is not satisfied, it gives rise to the suffering of suffering. When a desire is satisfied, it produces the suffering of change and nurtures the habit of attachment. When the satisfaction of desire is obstructed or taken away, it breeds anger, which brings pain and illness to the body and can even lead to rebirth in hell. A series of sufferings arise continuously. Therefore, when sentient beings help each other fulfill desires, it cannot fundamentally solve the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, death, and other afflictions. Hence, we need methods to liberate ourselves from samsara. These must come from enlightened beings who have attained liberation through practice. By receiving their correct instructions and applying their empirical guidance, we can also achieve enlightenment. Enlightened beings teach us wisdom. What is wisdom? It is the mind that can perceive and know the truth. Wisdom develops in several stages. Wisdom of listening. After realizing the truth, enlightened beings share the truths they have seen, both conventional and ultimate, as well as the methods for realizing them. This is the wisdom acquired through listening. Wisdom of reflection. Through inference, such as observation, analysis, and contemplation, we gain a partial understanding of both conventional and ultimate truths, though not in their entirety. This is the wisdom that arises from reflection. Wisdom of practice. After understanding the truth through reflection and developing firm conviction, we engage in meditation practice. During practice, we gradually realize the truth. This is the wisdom developed through meditation. Wisdom of realization. By continuously applying the correct mental mode, we gradually realize both conventional and ultimate truths. This is known as the wisdom of realization. Those who have directly perceived the truth are called wise or enlightened beings. They see reality, whether conventional or ultimate, as it is. Perfect embodiment. Even after realizing the truth, one may not have fully embodied it. Thus, one must continue practicing until, in all situations and at all times, one never loses mindfulness, never forgets this wisdom, and fully realizes the truth. At that point, one has attained perfect fruition. Therefore, the Dharma is about truth. Buddha means awakened one. Awakening means eradicating ignorance and seeing the truth. The Dharma is truth, the path of pursuing truth. Hence, the Dharma doesn't belong to any worldly religion. The Buddha is not a saviour in the worldly sense, but a sage who has realized the truth of the universe. He is a teacher who shows us how to save ourselves rather than rescuing us directly. From another perspective, he does save us through his teachings. He cannot directly pour his wisdom into us. He must teach us how to free ourselves from suffering and transcend samsara. This is why the Dharma is so sublime. It is not a worldly religion. By the same token, why should we learn filial piety? Because it is the foundation of virtue. Our parents raised us from childhood, educated us, and supported us until we established our own families and careers. They have devoted decades to caring for us. We must not forget their kindness. We should repay it. This is what filial piety means. Many people take their parents' kindness for granted, thinking there is no need to repay it. They get used to their parents' love and lack gratitude. Some even order their parents around and show no respect. This is the situation in the degenerate age. People don't remember their parents' kindness. Since they lack gratitude, they naturally lack filial piety. Why should we learn these teachings? We must understand this clearly. When studying the Dharma, we can actually let go of all religious terminology and rituals. So, how should we learn the Dharma? We should follow the way Shakyamuni Buddha taught his disciples. Don't reduce Buddhism to rituals and formalities. Clinging to these in hopes of receiving something in return only nurtures greed. What's the point of fixating on such appearances? Some people approach the Buddha to seek fame and gain, treating it like a business transaction. They are injuring the Buddha's body, asking the Buddha for wealth and fame. This is not the practice of the Dharma. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, out of great compassion, may first fulfill some of your wishes to guide you. They do so reluctantly, because to help you, they must first meet some of your desires. But once your desires are satisfied, you may become insatiable and full. So, it's not easy for Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to liberate beings. One misstep and you might end up in hell. Many people in the Buddhist community fall into hell. Worldly people rarely fall into hell because they commit limited negative karma. At worst, they commit karma that leads to rebirth in the animal realm, which is more common among them. Secular people rarely commit the karma that leads to rebirth in hell. But within the Buddhist community, it's easy to create karma that leads to hell. Why? It is because one might seek wealth through the Buddha, jeopardizing the Dharma. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have to both fulfill your wishes and guide you in eliminating desire. So, it's not easy to serve as a Buddha, Bodhisattva, or teacher. If they don't fulfill your wishes, you won't study the Dharma. If they do, your greed grows and you cling to merit. Many Buddhists become increasingly greedy, which completely goes against the right path. This is a common phenomenon in Buddhist communities. Their desire goes beyond minor wealth. Some people, upon hearing that making offerings to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas can lead to rebirth as heavenly kings, desperately make offerings. In reality, they seek to become heavenly kings. Isn't this an even greater form of greed? Others hear that such offerings bring immense wealth, so they zealously do so, wishing to become the richest person in the world. Their ambitions grow even larger. Their motive for making offerings is to become emperors or tycoons. So, if not careful, Buddhists can end up creating grave negative karma. We should understand that when Buddhas and Bodhisattvas fulfill our wishes, it is to help us gradually reduce desires and guide us toward liberation. Their true intent is to first attract us with the hook of desire, then lead us to the wisdom of the Buddha. Therefore, when studying the Dharma, we should not cling to merit or nurture our greed.